Certainly the first, it may be the only English car that's ever reached a production of 1 million, or over 1 million. But this is not quite that far on, but it's a nice convertible. Tell us all about it.
It's a 1959 convertible, 1275 engine conversion, 25-speed gearbox, drum brakes, for about 5 years.
Lovely, thank you very much. They're a very, very popular little car. And in actual fact, you could build a 2004 Morris Minor, because you could buy all of it. It would cost you a fortune, but you could actually build one brand new. Now, big and it's wide and it's an estate. Tell us all about it.
This car used to belong to the late Queen Elizabeth. It was her personal car at Balmoral. 1984 Granada Estate.
Lovely, thanks. So great history to this one. Thank you for bringing her along. Absolutely beautiful. Here's the flag post on the front wings. MG was the sporting section of the Morris Car Company, Morris Garages, built up at Abingdon in Berkshire. Tell us all about this one.
1974 MGB Roadster in damask red. Goes up a bond.
Brilliant. And you're enjoying it, aren't you? Yeah, got a little Yorkie sat here. Mr. Bojangles. Oh, hello. Yeah, okay. Now a beautiful Triumph with a dicky seat in the back. The driver, if it rained, had canvas he could pull up over the top and keep dry. You were the passenger sitting in the dicky seat. You had a windscreen, but that's it. You just got wet. Hard luck. Tell us all about this one.
That was the mother-in-law's seat. Yeah, it's a 1948 Triumph Roadster. It would have been the TR1, but they didn't know, because the next one out the factory was TR2.
There was an old car, a Trojan old car, 1964, doesn't know the number plate on the front. You can see why they got the nickname the bubble car, because it looks as though you're on a statue with a bubble. And I believe these are the same, and when you open the door, the stereo partly comes out with it. Not this one, I'm thinking the message bit, am I?
W1s then, come up with a BMW once. Yeah. I had this one for just over a year. I had a couple of them in the 90s. I bought this one for my daughter's wedding, so I'll take it to her wedding in it. And that means I've got an extra car now, so I'm going to keep it. 200 cc's of power, rebuilt all the mechanics, etc., the bodies as it was. Yeah, it's not easy to drive, you have to get used to driving it, obviously. You have to have loads of miles to get and you have to, you can't touch the back windows there. But apart from that, it's okay.
Squeeze in.
Of course, you've got to get used to sitting on the wrong side. There we are. Little engine there, riding the back wheel. Another manufacturer, Hillman Lynx. The Lynx name, I think, started right back in the 30s on some of their models, and they seem to keep the name going and sort of updated the vehicles. But tell us all about this one.
It's a 1961 Lynx Series 3C, and it's known as Audrey after Audrey Hepburn. It's my daughter's car, so I know very little about it. It's 1500cc, 4-speed gearbox, and the handbrake's on the wrong side, which bucks me up no end trying to find it.
Well, you're not used to it with a Land Rover because the Land Rover's in the middle. Another sporting MG. Tell us all about this one.
So this is a late 2003 MG TF. This one has the 1.6 litre engine. Most of them had a 1.8 K series engine. I've owned it since January 2018. This is the updated model. The predecessor was the MGF, and the main change they did was they changed the hydrogas suspension back to normal springs.
Which is probably a good thing, the hydroelastic suspension, yeah. Very wide, very long, massive great fins there on the back wings, which the Americans absolutely loved. Tell us all about this one.
It's a 1960 Fleetwood, known as a 60 Special. It's a V8, 6.5 litre petrol, very juicy. That's about it really, that's all I can say. It's all original, which is good. It needs a respray, but I think we're reluctant to give it to it.
As long as you can keep it original, I always think about who it is. Why the paint's not actually falling off of it, it's much nicer to see it original than redone. Oh, that's only my personal feeling, but there we are. Yeah. Lovely, thank you very much. Very, very big vehicle. What's the other thing the Americans like? It's chrome. I'm not sure. Because Dennis Brothers in Guildford, that were known to building cars, they didn't build car engines, but they were building cars, and it had a production line. If you know Guildford, Rodman Buildings, where the Wetherspoons pub is, that was the original Dennis factory, and in there they had production lines. Whether it was before Henry Ford or not, I'm not sure. Anyway, this is the Ford Model T, very, very popular car indeed. Typical American, they were wooden spoke wheels, and with a metal rim on the outside of them. Very, very nice vehicle, brass radiator, and this one's painted blue. Remember the gentleman telling me yesterday, because Henry Ford had this thing, you can have a Model T, any colour you like, as long as it's black. And the reason for that was because on the production line, and in those days, black paint dried quicker than any of the colours. So that's why he wanted it down the production line, was picking off the end, so he couldn't wait for the paint to dry. But this one predates that. This is why she's blue. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so the assembly line was 1913, and as you say, he didn't invent it because he actually saw them doing a similar sort of thing on a food plant. It was cattle or beef or sheep or something, you know, where one guy was cutting a bit off. So this is 1912, built in the USA, but actually for the Canadian market. And that's why it's right-hand drive.
And bringing up the rear is the little Austin 7 van.
Yeah, with 28 grand.
Good morning. Now this is another one that's not steam driven and you're driving it. It's unusual because these are steam people that are driving these round. Tell us all about your little Austin 7 van.
Well, it's an Austin 7 that's been converted to a C-type van. That's my stock, and yeah.
That was originally a saloon.
Yeah.
It's lovely. Brilliant, thank you. Yeah. it again, the only one used for timber work. The winch underneath there, you can use the winch cable, or you can flip the crane over the back, put that same cable up over and you became that lifting gear on it. Ford, the A3W, very, very popular. They have it in van, versus and pickup, as you see it here. Certainly the van really only had one seat. The passenger had to sit with their feet up, stuck up around their ears, because the driver's feet were down alongside the engine. Long wheelbase, they came in various wheelbase lengths. This is a long wheelbase, drop side body, petrol engine under the bonnet. Very, very popular vehicle indeed. And when they made the coach version on these, I have a very soft place for them in my heart because I went to school on one. Young Mr. Tetley with the ERF. Where it had been by the mud on it. But are you going to tell us all about it? Because I think you saw me last night and said I'll come and tell you about it.
It's called an M5 high-speed tractor used for towing a long-tom anti-aircraft gun. The markings on the side, we found them when we first started to restore it, so we left them on it basically. They're Portuguese markings, second armoured, and the American flag that flies in the lion's mouth is early United Nations from about 1947 onwards. This particular M5 was actually rescued from a woodyard just off the A29 about 30 years ago. It's always been a local vehicle.
There's Jason himself driving another big vehicle, another ERM. Richard, this came here to the first heavy recovery. Massive road engine in the back of that. Behind another example, again, the one of these originally had the Meadows petrol engine, but they were soon converted over to a Gardner diesel most of them. Now the Scammer, again, big six-wheel vehicle, heavy lifting crane, 20 tons. This lad started out with a private small Scammer. Then he got a much larger machine. And then last year, he appeared with this. Now, I was getting up to talk to them, and when I saw this, I thought, well, anything up there? Down the other there.
Another short one up as well, not at the same time, another short one. more than one though, I just don't. Yeah. Let's go!
Well,
Apparently there's only one head of money, because that was broken up years ago. Sorry. 4-inch scale.
Yeah, another monster. Very popular in miniature.
Yeah, there's probably more fossils about than any other side. In the middle there, we're going up in size even further. This is a 9-inch scale.
I think half of handover.
Right. Slightly smaller Foden wagon.
I think 6-wheeler that one.
A little bit unusual. There are many 6-wheel Foden wagons around. For a 4-inch scale model.
I think there's only 2 full-size 6-wheel Foden wagons around, both of them up in my neck of the woods.
6-inch scale Savage. Savage was a bit unusual, mate.
Sure how good they were as agricultural engineers, which is why they branched into the fairground. Frederick Savage was also the mayor of Britain. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That's Brian Hunt's
We did sort of sneakily hear from somebody that he didn't really want us to set that out for the 15 today. But congratulations. Nice to know he's interested in steam, that's the way.
It's a lovely engine, that one, complete with proper paraffin lamps.
4-inch scale, that was a barrel, not sure, a barrel, yeah. Now look, we've got 3 people, 3 adults on that engine, and it's still 4.5-inch scale engine. Engine that
This is the efficiency by using the steam twice, but by acting on a single crank it makes a simple engine to suit the majority of burrel drivers.
I don't know where it was found, Brian. Different scales, 3-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch. That basically is, we still work in feet and inches. We don't go into these funny foreign centimetres and millimetres, and let's be honest about it, how many of we get to some of our ages we can't even see a millimetre on a flaming ruler. So anyway, we stick with inches, we can see them, we get on all right with them. What it basically means is anything that measures 12 inches or a foot on a full-size engine, if it's a 4-inch scale model, it measures 4 inches on the model. And sometimes you'll see the best one really is the Foden wagon. You get a half-size 6-inch scale, which is half-size Foden wagon. You park that alongside a full-size Foden wagon, and you would look at it and say, that is never half-size. That's a quarter size, not half. Get your tape measure out, start making a few measurements. Yes, it is half. Your eyes are very deceptive. If you want to start building a miniature engine, you can buy sets of plans and some bits and pieces, like cylinder blocks. You can have them already cast, you can buy those, flywheels, stuff like that. But you've got to have access to lathes and milling machines and a bit of workshop knowledge to enable you to do the work. A lot of schools used to teach metalwork sections around now that will make the parts for you, and you can buy an engine in stages. Like, you can save up a bit of money. It doesn't work out cheap, I can tell you that, but you can start off, right, I will buy the front axle and front wheels. And you order them, they will come, they will supply your front axle, already machined, everything's done, your front axle, your front wheels and all that, so you put that together. Then you can save a bit more money, and well, we'll have the next bit. So they might send you the tender and all the bits that go with that. Eventually with a full-size engine, you can park it up, leave it ticking over, you can put a fire in it, leave it ticking over, you can go off for half an hour and you come back and just check the fire, put it in gear and you can drive it off. Dude heard a hissing noise and the water was running into the firebox because one of the tubes was leaking, so sadly she wasn't able to come round. But there we go, they're blowing the whistle because they've got a whistle the same as the full-size ones. And that one's got a louder whistle than some of the full-size engines. Well, there we are. He's a noisy what's it. So thank you to our miniature engines for joining us here this weekend and for bringing them here up in the arena. Very, very nice to see you all.
Coming out. I don't want to start.
All right.
Well, that was a trial. I didn't get it this time.
first of our engine for those of you who've been paying attention. Under the chassis, there's a vertical boiler in the back. This is an S4, so it's four-wheeler, sharp.
There, I think. Prince of Wales, some Aisling Parham. Came about when the Aisling Water Company more or less folded, and Barfoot's up in Lincolnshire came to the rescue, and they built up at Shrewsbury, and they also had a vertical boiler. Now, the one was going round with the in front of the Shepherd Neame one, that's got, and again the HMS Sultan would come in with their centre as well. They've got the vertical boiler mounted in front of the driver. But on the
So yes, development of Sentinel wagons there. Now we've got the barrel tractor, this one, so again another light haulage engine, known as the gold medal tractor, because they were the prize winning entry in the 1903 RAC trials. And now we've been joined.
we've got the steam car. Well done. Well done, Marvin. That's going going again. Built by Stanley, company in America. And talking to Martin yesterday, he bought this up in North Wales. As he described it, 12 buckets of bits and a knackered engine. And it's taken him a long, long time to actually reboard it. But what the quietest gold medal tractor I've ever heard on a rally or on the road. Tina has got the gears absolutely spot on with that. And you can normally you get a clang of the gears from some engines sometimes, because the gears are not meshing properly, they're very worn, but that one has got it absolutely spot on.
So we've got the Sentinel unit from the Park, and this is an interesting engine built for timber work and winching. We've got a big winch on the back end, you can see the big sprag or land anchor at the back, and it actually has a separate steam engine to drive the winch, and that's an engine that travels a fair few miles under it.
So that if any lifting was needed when they arrived at their destination, this was always there, ready to go.
45-50 mile an hour quite comfortably on one of them. Boiler in the back of the pan.
front of the roller trying to roll gravel up on a hill is not brilliant. So they could put another engine with a winch cable at the top of the hill.
Okay, so we've got a Parham roller and a Marshall roller, but Overlands, he built this roller now in front of us, built more steam rollers than every other manufacturer combined, and it wasn't unheard of for a local authority to buy 10 of them into the road surface and clear the road up. Now you might think that's not a very good idea, but in the case of tarmac, when roads are water out and they're made out of hardware, the traffic can soon break the road surface up. So you go along with the steam roller and you scarifier it. Using the scarifier on the roller, you see a thermal roller sitting on its head. And because you were a steam roller driver, you didn't get involved in the next bit, but it was all rate level. And then you rolled it, again with the same machine. So it's nice to see a steam roller still with its scarifier. There's a big headache. How to bring that elevation. However, they tried all sorts of funny ideas. They tried roundabout marriage, double drum engines with an anchor. It was failed as they came up to the two-engine system. And normally a pair of Parham engines would be owned by a contractor. You've got one or two. This one's flying. It's got lovely well-weathered paintwork on it. It looks just about ready to go and do a day's work.
If you're wondering, looking at the scenery, I look at the scenery, it seems a bit too low, but look very well the first time I saw it. There we go. It's probably a bit better than actually on to the So the water's drained out of the winch so they don't freeze up. Now, if you have a close look, don't go, if you look at them closely, don't go nuts in a little bit, there's a lot of oxygen on it. So if you have a look, there are various plates in colours, global plates, work that they do. Been out on the running field for a good many years now. Nice to see us still going.
Thank you.